Welcome to Mahjong Central. My name is Michelle. In this episode of Nosh and Such, I'm going to make some savory pinwheels. I'm going to use some pre-made puff pastry because I don't know how to make it, so I'm just going to use Pepperidge Farm. And then I'm going to use some pesto. This is store-bought. It's basil, olive oil, etc. I'm sure there's more things in there. I'm also going to use some chopped black olives and some sun-dried tomatoes. And then I'm going to sprinkle with some Parmesan cheese. And then coat the outside with some beaten egg. That's the whole recipe. This should be pretty easy, I think, and I think it will make a really great Mahjong snack. I know that there is olive oil in the tomato and there is olive oil in the pesto. And usually olive oil makes for a greasy product in the end, but I'm hoping because we're using puff pastry, maybe it won't be greasy. Let's find out. So I'm going to go ahead and open the puff pastry here. It's been thawed. You just get this in your freezer section. All right, so I'm going to unroll this. Oh, these are sheets. Yes, this is what I need. Okay, so it's like 2 sheets. I've never worked with this before. So here it is, a nice big sheet. So I'm going to just lay that out. And I'm going to first spoon over pesto. Now, I'm not a real big fan of pesto. I really don't eat it very often. So I'm going to probably do a pretty light layer here of this. I don't think I've ever served this for my family, so I don't know if they're going to like it. I like basil, and it smells delicious. I love basil. It just, I don't know, looks kind of muddy, I guess. So I just don't think about putting this in any of my recipes. But maybe I should. Do you cook with pesto? Okay. So there we go. I'd say I probably put about maybe 2 or 3 teaspoons worth on there. Okay, now I'm going to sprinkle with the tomatoes and the olives. And just, I want to kind of spread these out a little bit so that there's a little bit of tomato in every bite. This was about, I guess this is about a 7-ounce amount here for 2 of these pastry sheets. I may need to get some more of these tomatoes out. I got these at Costco. They looked interesting. I've never used these before either. So I'm branching into new territory here. I'm definitely going to need to get some more out. Here's the pesto and sun-dried tomatoes. The sun-dried tomatoes I got at Costco. I don't remember about the pesto though. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I'll take a photo of this so you can see it from the top side. I'm going to sprinkle, I'm just going to use my hands. I think it'll be easier. I'm just going to sprinkle with olives now. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, now for the cheese. This is just, let's see, grated, is this shaved Parmesan? Shaved Parmesan. Well, this is working out well, sort of. All right, I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and spread out here. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, now you take the back edge and you carefully roll it towards the center. So I'm rolling this towards the center and I'll stop halfway. Stopping halfway. Then I'll do the same on this other side so that it creates kind of a scroll for the finished cut piece. So I'm rolling in from the back side towards the center. And I'm trying to make it tight without crushing anything in here. Okay, so there's my scroll. Oh, I forgot to take a photo. Maybe I should do that. No, it's a mess. Okay, I'll take a photo of the next one. Hopefully I'll remember. Maybe if I pinch those together a little bit. Now, the gentleman who inspired this appetizer, his name, I don't remember his name, but his show is The One Pot Chef. And he cut his before he brushed it with egg. So I decided to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to show you the inside there. And I'm going to set it on the baking sheet here, cut side up. I think I'll go 3 across because I need to be able to brush them with some egg. I'm going to take my egg and I'm just going to brush the sides. And that's supposed to give them a nice golden color. They smell really good, that pesto and the tomatoes. It is definitely going to be savory, which I love. I love savory. I don't really have a sweet tooth. I just love savory. Can you tell? I think either savory or sweet, both of those have calories. So I don't think one is any worse than the other, but I love savory foods, and this looks really good. Okay, now I've got one sheet on there. I'm going to go ahead and make the other sheet now. All right. I just stuck this in the freezer for a minute while I worked on the other one. Okay. All right, same thing. Pesto. I feel like an artist. Okay, now tomato. And this time I'm going to take a photo of it so you can see how it looks before it gets rolled up. Okay. And now the olives. And this was I think a 6.5 ounce little jar of sliced olives, and I just chopped them up. All right, now the cheese.
Here's a top view of the filling on the pastry before rolling.
Now I'm going to roll from the front to the center, and I think I'm going to try to do it a little tighter this time so that it's a prettier scroll. All right, so there's half, and now I'll do this side. We'll do the slicing now. I think I'm going to cut it in half, then in thirds. Okay, and now we will put them. I probably could have made these even thinner cut. These are probably going to be huge. Oh well. This is my first time making this recipe, so I'm thinking already I probably could have gotten double the slices out of these. These are going to be pretty big. I still think they'll be good, but they look really big. So I probably next time will cut them smaller. All right. Now let's brush again. I think I'll do the top just real quick. I have the oven preheating at 400, and we're going to cook these in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, in the oven. Actually, let me show you. There they are. I'll take a photo.
Here's a top view of the pastry scrolls before they went in the oven.
In the oven. Okay. Now I'm going to clean up this mess And then in 20 minutes, I will show you the finished savory scrolls. I got them out of the oven. Here they are. They're really pretty. They're a little more watery than I expected. I guess if I thought it through, I would know that that pesto is a bit, you know, juicy, I guess. If you think about all the olive oil in there. And maybe the other problem with this water, or whatever this is, olive oil, water, I'm not sure which, but the tomatoes, the sun roasted tomatoes were in olive oil, and then the olives are tend to be a bit watery too, but they don't seem soggy on the bottom. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I think it's a pretty dish. They're definitely bigger than I think what would be good for a Mahjong snack. So I don't know. Is that too big, do you think? I kind of like the idea of serving something that doesn't require a fork. Just finger foods. But this, I think, because of the olive oil, is going to require a fork. So there they are. I think it's a very pretty dish. They're screaming hot, so I'm going to have to let this cool for a minute before I bite into it. But I'll come back as soon as it's cooled and we'll do a taste test. We just have to wait for it to cool. I don't want to burn the roof of my mouth. I hate that feeling. So I'm going to let it cool. I think I'll get a fork. It's still pretty hot. It smells really good. Definitely savory. It's really pretty though. Don't you think? Here's the bottom. It's still pretty hot. Very nice. Let's try it. Maybe I can try it with my fingers. Let's see how difficult that might be. I got a big bite of pastry. I didn't really get much of a bite of the pesto or tomato yet. It was good, but it tasted like dough. I need to get a bite of the pesto and the tomato. So let's try again. Still a little warm, but it's really tasty. I really like the sun-dried tomatoes. They're a little teeny bit chewy and a bit tart, which is kind of nice because with the pesto and the olives, that makes up for a really nice savory bite. And I think it's a very elegant appetizer. It's a little bit greasy. I think this one would be better with a fork. But I think it's really tasty. I would definitely serve this at a Mahjong event. It's really pretty. It was really easy to make. It only took about 10 minutes maybe to put together. And it's very elegant looking, I think. And you can really put anything in here. It's kind of like a pizza if you think about it. An elegant pizza. Whatever you might put on a pizza, you could probably put in here. But you could put, goodness, I don't know, shredded chicken and cream cheese maybe with some artichokes. That might be really good. You could do spinach and chicken with cream cheese. Some people like feta. I think the example that the One Pot Chef used was with feta. I don't like feta, so I didn't use that. I used Parmesan. But you can use any kind of cheese and any kind of items for the inside. I really like this recipe. I'll probably make it again. Give it a try yourself and let me know what you think. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click subscribe and then click that bell so you get notification of when I post new videos. If you have any ideas for recipes you'd like to see me do, write it in the comment section. I'm trying to find recipes that'll be good for Mahjong events. Between now and the next Mahjong Nosh and such, may all your picks be keepers. I'm gonna have another bite. Really tasty.